What's up, guys? I am Raizo, and today I am recommending the Immortal Hulk for Combat Villain ABX Day. Now, before anyone fires off shots in the comments saying, he's PvP, he's PvP, hear me out. Yes, Namor is king of Combat Villain Day, with Apocalypse as a close second with Abomination's leadership. I'd have to say that Immortal Hulk is your next best option in terms of combat villain tier 3s, since there's only 3 combat villain tier 3s in the game. But not all players can afford getting Namor, who is a X-Gene sub, and not everybody can get Apocalypse right away, who is a double cost native tier 2. So these are very expensive characters to build up if you want to do combat villain ABX. But Hulk is a really good option. And I know everybody is probably building him up for PvP because everything about him screams PvP, right? He has like a ton of HP. He has like a huge HP bump when he gets to tier 3. And all of his attacks now is HP based. All his damage is HP based, right? HP, right? HP, physical damage, of HP, physical damage of HP, physical damage of HP, physical damage of HP. So everything about him screams PvP. But I'm going to show you why he's a good option for Combat Villain Day, for PvE. Now you're gonna have to have Red Guardian at 6-star mastery. You don't have to have him at tier 2. You just have to have him at 6-star mastery. Just so you can get his HP, his 35% HP leadership. And if you wanna even get your scores even higher, to boost your scores more, you need Taskmaster's new uniform, which gives him, on his uniform effect, it gives him increased damage dealt by 40% increased damage dealt to superheroes and supervillains. So if you want to bump up your damage, you definitely need that uniform. So these, Namor and Apocalypse is very expensive. For some players, it's so far out of reach, but Hulk is a very cheap character to build. For instance, instead of costing 320 bios to get him from 5-star to 6-star, it only costs 160 bios. And instead of costing 150 bios to tier 2 him, it's 75 bios. And even the tier 2 mats are cut in half. So you're already on the road to getting him to tier 3 faster than getting Namor or Apocalypse. And he's free to play friendly, big time free to play friendly. You can get his bios through bio selectors on from Shadowland, and your daily login. If you get a combat selector, you can use it on him as well to build it up faster. And he's a really good character to work on with this new uniform. So I highly suggest getting him, even if you're not building him the way I'm building him. But let's take a look at how I have him set up. So his stats, I have roughly about 90. I know right now he has the team bonus on him right now, so his HP isn't 95,000. It's actually closer to 92,000 HP. But my crit damage and crit rate and ignore defense and skill cooldown are capped. I do have HP Odin's Blessings on him with HP Uru. As you can see, there's no physical attack Uru or Odin's Blessings. These skills were already capped out from before the uniform was launched. but it's good to have him cap out because, well, for 1 on 3, you get that huge 30% HP buff. You get damage immunity on 4, and that's it. Yeah. I honestly, Power of Angry Hulk doesn't work on Hulk, ironically, because since he's HP based, his attacks and his damage is HP based. The all attack that you get from Power of Angry Hulk doesn't apply. So I would actually suggest getting something more like binary power or drastic density enhancement, right? Just so you can get that HP bubble, that shield, that HP shield. I would rather recommend that, and plus you get HP on the ISO set itself. But Power of Angry Hulk is not good, and I have Power of Angry Hulk on him because that's what was on him prior to this update. So I just kind of kept it. I will be changing it sooner or later. And I have a rage. I have a rage on him. Might as well. We want to get as much damage out of him. Bring down the beast's defense as much as possible and do as much damage as possible. And then on my uniform, which I have at Mythic, his options are She-Hulk Fantastic Four, Iron Man Avengers 39.9, Domino Marvels Now, Crescent Lifestyle Series 1, and War Machine Endgame. And as you can see, I have these two options at HP. This is at all attack because all my other available options for this is capped. So I just left it. There's no point in me putting it crit rate or crit damage. There's no point because they're capped anyway. So let's go and take them into... I already have the team set up for ABX. Today is actually free for all day, so there's no restrictions. The only difference is that on Combat Villain Day, you get snared by the beast if he hits you. So you get silenced, which means you can't use any skill for a certain amount of time. I think it's like 10 seconds or something like that. I might be wrong. But let's take him in. I'm going to go through his rotation with you guys. You definitely want to start off with 3 to get that HP buff. And then you want to cancel into 5 as fast as possible because you wouldn't want to get snared. And as soon as he crashes down with the jet, you want to hit 4, let 4 play out because that 4 does the most damage, and you want to insta cancel 2, 1, and 3 into 5. And for your tier 3, you basically want to do it like right here, right after the jet crashes, and then as soon as he comes slamming down with his fist with his tier 3, you cancel into 4. But you definitely want to always proc on 4. Except for when you're doing your tier 3, of course. You can definitely proc on your tier 3. And that's why I'm using a rage, in order to fit all of that into that 5 seconds of the damage proc. He does have a really tight rotation. It's going to take some getting used to, because on Combat Villain Day, you will get snared. If you leave any opening, like right there, I probably would have got snared. So that's the hard part about using him on that day, is that he can get snared. So you got to be real quick with hitting these skills. But as you can see, the damage is pretty good, right? We're coming up on 4 million. And just to let you know how much HP I have on my cards, I have 33% HP on my cards. So the results might be different for you guys. It depends on how much HP. If you have more HP than me, then more power to you. That's great. Then he's definitely going to work in your favor for sure. And here we go, finishing it off with the tier 3. That was pretty epic. That was an epic finish. Finishing it off with a tier 3. But 4.3 million. That's not half bad. With my Namor setup, I hit 6 million with Namor. My Apocalypse does have a rage, but he doesn't have a bunch of Odin's blessings. So he doesn't really perform all that well. I don't have any Odin's blessing on him. Yeah. No OBs on him. No OBs at all. His crit damage is pretty low. So I think if I capped out his crit damage, he'll probably perform better, but I haven't hit 4 million with Apocalypse. Apocalypse actually, my Apocalypse anyway, actually scores less than my Immortal Hulk. I think it was like 3.7 million, I think it was, which isn't too bad either, but considering that he costs more than Hulk, like way more than Hulk, because he's a double cost native tier 2. Like his uniform is 1,500 crystals at discount, and it costs twice as much to get him to tier 3 with all the tier 2 materials, with all the X-Men tier 2 materials and stuff. So Hulk is looking pretty good, I have to say, which is why I'm making this video. So I hope this suggestion doesn't break anyone's hearts that I made in PvE. But for those that are looking for a combat villain option for that day, Hulk is a good choice. I highly recommend them. I'm not saying that you should do it, but if you're looking for one and you're not taking Hulk into PvP with timeline and so on and so forth, it's a good option. That's all I'm saying. So I hope you like this video. If you do, hit the thumbs up. If you're not subscribed to my channel, please do so. And thanks for watching. Check you later.